Hello everyone, I'm MrRishi, and welcome back to another episode of VOD Review. I believe this is episode number 7. Today we are going up against Lord Hao himself, Funkyhao. As you can see, I have my team that I use in plus tourney 55, I believe it is. I'm pretty sure this team is like close to perfect. I don't really know any other way for me to improve it. But let's get right into things. So we're gonna speed forward and pick a man a little bit. Alright. Okay, so I started off with a Tolkien ban, went to a Malawala ban. I had second ban, so because they banned my Minotaur first, I believe. Yeah, they banned my Minotaur first. I don't have many things. I can deal with Tolkien. Minotaur is one of my answers to dealing with Tolkien though. And I have Tuvine and Lawali weak to Tolkien, while also Grandpa's walled by it. So I didn't really want to deal with it. That could have been a mistake. Oh, actually, no, I think that's fine. But then, so I pick Ruler, Valier, and they pick their Tukai plus their Hedgem. So I think that part was fine. The part that wasn't fine was banning the Malawala. I don't think I should have done that. Instead, I should have banned something like the Lash, actually. Or even the Nesla. The reason is because I'm going to be doubling up on the Hedge in turn 1 here with Stare into Stoneball, guaranteeing a kill if it stays in. Getting rid of the Nesla makes it so that they can't swap in anything that can outspeed my Valier and then kill my Ruler. That opens up Ruler a crap ton, right? So then I pick Tadu Lawali, they pick Momo, Valash, Nesla, and I'm like, okay, well, it looks like Tuvine's probably gonna be better here, which I think was another mistake. Okay, yes, sure, Tuvine is good for the Nesla. It's kind of better for the Momo, and it's better for the Tukai. I actually think the Tolkien was better because this Tukai's in the lead, so if I can pretty easily Stare into Drill Impact it, and once it's Stare plus Drill Impact it, it's just not a problem anymore. On top of that, I have Lawali for Nesla, and if I had banned Nesla, that would have also opened up Tolkien even more. That is also something to think about. But let's get into the lead here. Like I said, we're just gonna Stare plus Stoneball turn 1 here. He swaps the Nesla in. And the Stare plus Stoneball is going to do a major crap ton to this Nesla, right? Especially since Nesla has very low defense. This is a reason why I did it. They didn't really have a swap in. The only other swap in was Momo or Valash, which Valash would have obviously died. Alright. Now, I believe we press X here. Yes, we do. Now, my thought process was, they're gonna swap out the Tukai, but I didn't act on that. I knew that they were gonna swap it out, but I decided to not swap in the Lawali, or I swapped in Lawali anyway, despite the correct play being swapping in Tuvine, or not Tuvine, swapping in Tataru. This is something called a mid ground, right? Tataru also covers for them staying in, because I can essentially bamboozle my Tataru so that next turn they can't double into it. Or when I swap it in, right? So if I swap in Bamboozle Tataru, that's a pretty good play. What I end up doing is swapping in Lawali and Black Holing Nesla. Still a fine play, but you're gonna see that they end up bringing this Hedgin into the Tukai spot, which counters me, or which is counterplay to me bringing in Lawali. If I brought in Tataru, I would be in a much better position. They would still be in a pretty decent position, but it would have been a better position than I end up in. So as we see the Hedgin come in, we see Lawali come in on my side. Fake rear procking, and we actually see the Sparks. The Sparks is very scary. It's plus 25% in special attack, obviously. I get the Black Hole off, which does take care of Nesla. Does open up my Ruler a decent amount, but I still have the Tukai to worry about. Again, just another reason why I should have pick the Tolkien, because alright, let me back up here. I back up to the here. Okay. So Nestle's going down this turn, right? I as we just saw, I Black Hole it this turn on turn 2. That is fine for Funky though, because they still have a Tukai to deal with one threat on my team being Ruler. Okay. if I had a Tolkien instead of Tuvine, their Nestle going down would have been much worse for them, considering that they have more work that the Nestle has to do, or that Nestle plus Tukai have to do, right? Now with Nestle going down, if I had the Tolkien in that Tuvine spot, they would have to kill 2 Tems with their 1 Tukai, which is much harder for them to do than obviously killing Rulder with Tukai. Yeah, we can speed past this. Yeah, they end up bringing in the Lash. And okay, this is probably one of my bigger misplays I do in this game. Obviously, we already pointed out a lot of inaccuracies or like smaller misplays, but this is just a genuine misplay. I end up going for turbo choreography here, right? Because I want to get value to +2 speed. The problem with that is that sure, you get value to +2 speed, but I decided to hypnosis this turn instead of next turn. I could have hypnosis next turn because I would have been able to outspeed the Lash or the Hedgen. So I end up turbo choreography with the Lolly. They Hellfire on Hedgen, which is going to do big damage to both Valier and the Lolly. Sea Spikes coming on the Lolly. I expected that on the Valier. That's one of the reasons why I hypnoed, because I expected my Lawali to be at an HP that I could at least get a Plague off next turn without having to worry about getting killed instantly. Alright, and then I don't remember what I do here exactly. Let's see. Alright, so we Resin Trap the Lash. And okay, my thought process here is I got kind of tunnel visioned. Can we stop on the frame? Okay, there we go. I got kind of tunnel vision because I'm like, okay, let's trap in the Lash, bring in Rulder, okay? And that does work, right? I have a favorable board afterwards because they swap out the Lash into Tukai, and then the turn after I'm able to get a Plague off on it because I'm at +2 speed. The problem is that they have a... I'm like... Okay, let me get my thoughts in order. I thought I'm at an HP. I knew I'm at an HP that if they do a Spreader Sharp Rain on me, I will not die. Okay, a Spreader Sharp Rain. But my Lawali is at an HP that it gets taken out by a simple Sea Spikes or a simple Plague. So what ends up happening is that Spreader doesn't proc because there's not 2 targets to hit. And as we will see, my Rulder actually ends up going down and dying. Which is a very good play from Funky and another I guess an inaccuracy from me, but it was more of like a combination of inaccuracies with the turbo play or the hypno play along with the keeping Rulder in here instead of sacking or instead of bringing in something like my Tataru, right? This is like at this point in the game, I think I like can't win anymore, but I'm like, okay, let's see what we can do, right? I think there was a way for me to win. I keep on turn 6, I end up keeping both Tataru and Tuvine in, but I needed to make a prediction on which slot they're going to click Sea Spikes in to save HP on my Tataru and my Tuvine. Because Sea Spikes into knockback will definitely kill my Tataru. I know that. I know that they're probably bringing in Momo, or they're at least clicking a move on their Tukai. Oh, sorry. Sea Spikes plus Tukai move or Momo move, I guess, plus another Sea Spikes will kill me, right? So they do end up bringing in Momo. They end up Sea Spicing my Tataru as I said, and this Momo honestly does not take much from the double. I can't outspeed them at all, right? I have NATO to possibly outspeed them, but Momo's Spadef is pretty high, so I can't really depend on that. I guess I could have possibly brought it back. I end up clicking Turbo Choreography here, but I think that's a misplay. I think I need to keep the Tataru at a decent HP. Try to make it so that an Undermine plus the Sea Spikes wouldn't kill me when I knew a Knockback plus the Sea Spikes would. So what I could have done is I could have swapped out Tataru into Valier instead of instead of keeping it in here. But then afterwards, we are pretty much left. They end up knockbacking my Tatter after C spikes. I go down. And at this point, there is no way of me winning. So I end up conceding right here. Yep. But yeah, so I guess, if anything, this game shows how important pick ban is. Also, like, let's go back to pick ban here. Back. Okay. Like I said earlier, if I had picked Tolkien, it increases the load that multiple Tems on a team has to take, right? Tolkien would be a semi-win con against this team, or like Tataru or something. In order to open up Tataru, or even Rulder, in order to open up Tataru or Rulder, I need to get rid of these 2 waters that can do a lot of damage or boost the damage of the rest of Funky's team. So kind of like increasing the load in which they have to, or load of work that they have to do, can be a very viable solution, especially if like Tolkien deals with other teammates, the Tems that you're trying to, how do I say this, the Tems in which increase the load of the enemies win cons, right? If they deal with the win cons teammates, then you can pick it up. Sorry if that's convoluted. If you have any questions about what I just said, please ask them in the comments. But yeah, that's gonna be all for this VOD review. Thank you everyone so much for coming out. That's my Twitch outro, my bad. But make sure to sub, like, and comment, as it does help me and it goes a long way. And let me know what you want to see next. I'm supposed to get a video out that goes over how to play a mid-range team that I made on my Twitch channel. Or like a beginner team that I made, that you can find on my Twitch channel with !beginner teams. That is not out yet. I've been working on it. I've been dragging my butt on it, but I'll try to get that out as soon as I can. Hope everyone has an amazing day, week in life though. I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Peace.